When my wife's accident showed that she had been cheating on me, I left her, filed for divorce, and got even. I got a call yesterday from the hospital telling me that my 29-year-old wife Andrea had been in an accident. During the 35-minute drive to the hospital, I asked the Lord to keep my wife safe. When I quickly got to the emergency room, she was already getting help. It made me feel better to know that she was okay and that the accident did not pose a threat to her life. I got her phone and some other things from the nurse. I asked them if they knew what caused the crash. She said that they had told the cops about the car and that they were looking into it, but that they did not yet have all the facts. The cops gave me a copy of their preliminary probe when they got there. I was shocked when, while drunk, she crashed into a parked car and then went off the road onto a path. The good news is that she didn't drive to the other side. If not, it would have been fatal. When I learned more about the crash, I started to doubt it. The first thing is that she wasn't allowed to be on the road where the accident happened. She should have been at work on Wednesday afternoon instead of crossing 25 miles to get there. Secondly, why would she be drunk in the afternoon? I got a copy of the video from Andrea's dashboard from the cops. It showed her driving carelessly and play loud music. The amount of booze she had was found during her medical test. Someone looked into me for an hour to find out if she was unhappy or if she had a fight with me. The cops asked her before she got drunk and hit a parked car. I had to show them the talks from yesterday and the day before. In the morning, she texted me to see if I would get home at my usual time or afterwards. I told her what I always say, but I would let her know if I thought I would be late. After the talk, she used a heart and the words "I love you" to end it. After that, I didn't call her again so the cops couldn't think I was to blame for her sadness, trouble, or anything else. They asked me about Andrea's actions as she was walking back from the accident scene. I had no idea, I said. At first they didn't believe me, but after asking questions for an hour, they let me go. There was no reason for them to not trust me. After that, Andrea and I were able to meet. I hugged her when I got to her home. She was aware of some things. Right away, she asked me where my phone was. I was shocked. Even though she was still in pain and had a local painkiller, all she could think about was her phone. I told a lie when I said it was with the hospital staff. She looked happy. My doubts were already clouded by the probe report, but her weird question made them even stronger. I wanted to ask her a lot of questions, but I decided to wait until she was better. She fell asleep while I held her. I became interested in what she was doing. I took her phone out of her bag after she gave it to me. It was made public. I used my power bank to charge. As soon as I turned it on, it started buzzing with many messages. I turned it off. The noise stopped after a minute, but alerts for one chat kept coming up. I couldn't read the message because the screen was locked. Then someone who said their name was Corner House called. This little restaurant on the corner of our street is where we often get food or home delivery. But why did the restaurant call her so late at night? I kept looking at the computer screen as I thought about what I could do next. That number was now making about 5 calls in a row, with the occasional chat message. The indirect proof made me forget what I believe in, even though I'm not an insecure person who breaks my wife's privacy all the time. Her fingerprints let me into her phone. I sat next to her bed all night and found out that my marriage was falling apart while she was sound asleep from her medicine. As I thought, the chat alerts came from the same person she had saved as Corner House. It looks like she saved the name of the restaurant and the phone number of someone else to protect herself in case I saw the chat or phone messages. If I saw a call from Corner House while we were at home, I wouldn't have thought anything of it. It turned out that Andrea had been cheating on me for at least 6 months. When I looked up the affair partner's phone number, I didn't see him on my list of contacts. What I could find on a calling app said his name was Kevin. That name didn't belong to anyone I knew. It is hard to figure out the exact start of it. Based on the fact that it was last backed up 6 months ago, I think it's at least that old. I thought the talks were rude and pointless. It was sad to read about her dreams about her affair partner while she made fun of my sexual abilities. She told him, by only last a blink she has pretended to have an orgasm to make me happy. They were getting together at their secret spot once a week, or sometimes twice a week. She asked about her phone even though she was drunk because she had an accident on the way back from her fun practice. I thought it was just with me, but since I know Andrea likes having sex while drunk, I knew they had sex. But there she is, drunk and circling fun guys. After reading what they said, I felt sick. She always texted him in the middle of the night while she was at work, even when she was with me. They last slept together while we watched a movie the day before. I still remember very well how we kissed and made out while she held me. I really disliked the thought that she had been seeing me as him the whole time. There's no way I could have known she was planning this. We went on many trips, had many date nights, and talked until we fell asleep. There was sex twice a week. The more I look at what other people do, the less sure I am that this was enough, or okay. It makes me sad to think that I might not be able to please her. If she had told me this, I might have been able to find an answer. She never said what else or more she wanted. Though not as close as I thought, I guess we were close enough to be completely honest with each other. When I looked at her social media sites, the cheating partner wasn't added. They only talked to each other on the phone and through chats. How can I find him? Who the hell is this man who is making my wife so happy? I woke up in the middle of the night. Right now I feel dizzy, but I can't sleep because I'm mad. I want to beat the partner of the affair up really badly and take him to the hospital. It's not clear to me what to do next. I might want to leave this place. Sorry. Great news, Hope. It turns out your wife isn't as nice as you thought she was. You're lucky to have a marriage that doesn't work. Also, isn't it cute how she managed her leisure activities while you were busy thinking everything was okay? It's like being in a romance movie when you're in a car accident and your broken trust is the punchline. Who needs sleep when you're desperate to find that one person who will be your love partner? Friend, put on your detective hat and begin the crazy chase. You need to work out your brain more than you need to do Sudoku. Find a love partner instead. The first change. What do you know? She had her things packed up, her phone thrown away, and that bee left at the hospital. I then threw them all away outside my house. I also did a few other things. I will accept it in the end. After leaving the hospital, I went home, but I felt really bad. I wanted to do something to make my pain go away. I was walking around the house aimlessly while Andrea's phone kept ringing with calls and texts from the affair partner. I wasn't sure what to do. His worry came from the fact that she wasn't answering. I had chosen to deal with that problem first. Just like Andrea, I picked up the phone and called him. You can copy and paste the text conversation here. As a love partner, Red Corner House is a partner in a corner home romance. Red Corner House, please don't call. Please text me because I don't want to be with you anymore. Why wait, partner in an affair? What happened? Why are you so mad at me? Are you mad at me that I didn't stay longer? I promise that the next time we'll spend the day together. Why don't you answer? Okay, let's talk first so we can figure this out. Corner House, I'll never meet you. Send me no more texts. Could we talk about this today, affair partner? Could I come get you from work? I'm going to let Connie know that I need to work longer hours. Corner House, don't do that. I no longer enjoy having sex with you. You're just a toy to me. I'm not interested in your D anymore. I saw another pretty boy and liked him. Who can last longer than you? Person who is fair. What? I feel like you're pulling a joke on me. I'm not a corner house, no. We're going on a date tonight. A friend who is fair. Do not do this. You already know that I love you. I have one more word for your wife that will tell her everything. The noise stopped after that. I then quit her job by writing a letter to her boss after checking her work email on her phone. Asking for a quick release, he asked, "What's the reason?" In answer, I said that I, Andrea, was very angry about the bad atmosphere at work, the rude employees, and how the boss often took advantage of women. I also told him I would tell management the whole truth if he didn't agree to quit. The departure was accepted right away. I'm glad I paid attention. I thought it was helpful to listen to Andrea's work-related nonsense today. I had a small win. She is not married and does not have a job right now. I have nothing to do with her quitting her job and breaking up with her partner. Oh, poor girl. I took all of her small amount of money and charged it to my own credit card. So there would be no proof of them. I even threw away all of her bank records, passport, and ID cards. I made the ashes white. She will have to clean out the gutter and put it back together again if she wants to find them. One victory after another. It would take her months or even years to get copies of these papers from the government. It would be at least 2 months before she found help. If she finds out that these papers are lost, she can't run to the government to get them right away. The first blow will hit her when she wakes up today from her sleep caused by the drugs. I'm leaving the hospital now. Her family and friends don't know she's in the hospital, and she doesn't have her phone with her. She doesn't have her insurance information with her. She would have to deal with everything while she was in the hospital, but I don't think she would be there for a long time. She doesn't have any cash or credit cards to pay for the bills. Also, she doesn't have any ID on her, even though she can call her insurance company. Even though it won't be easy, she could ask the police to help her call her parents or friends. They live 5 hours away from each other. We'll ask her friends if they can help. When I was happy with how I had done this, I packed up her clothes, trinkets and other things she owned and put them somewhere outside the house. While all of this was going on, the hospital called me. The doctor asked me to be there so that we could talk about the steps for release. I asked when she was going to be let go. Tomorrow, they said. I'll be there tomorrow, I told them. I'm stuck on other things right now. They told her that the surgery would take longer than planned and that they might decide to keep her in the hospital for another day. I said, we can work out an extra day's price, good job. After a few hours, the hospital called me again. This time, Andrea asked me to come. Yes, I said. I came home to wash up, little one. I'll be there in an hour. Then I told the people in charge at the hospital very clearly not to let Andrea call anyone. My fragile little darling needs to rest, I told them. They promised to do what I asked and tell the duty nurse. Bam. The duty nurse called me 4 times during the day to say that Andrea was getting upset and that I should go see her. At first, I thought about telling them I wasn't going to be there or ghosting them, but that would have made her look for other support. I didn't do that instead. I kept buying her time and left her hanging. Then I will change my lock so she can't get into my house. I'll also talk to my lawyer tomorrow about how I might be able to get rid of her free. But that's all there is to it so far. You certainly seem to have taken up the spirit of revenge, don't you? If you want to improve your relationship, there's nothing worse than leaving your wife in the hospital, messing up her life, and taking care of her business. Why not just throw away her things outside the house? It's even more stupid when her papers are burned and the ashes are flushed down the toilet. Good job. Also, it was a great idea to pretend to be Andrea and talk to the affair partner. Talk about fun. But really, who needs a conscience when you have a list of ways to ruin your ex's life? As the Grand Master, you plan each move with a cruel joy, making it look like a twisted game of chess. Wow, Update 2 has been really busy. I messed with the hospital staff for 2 days before I just ignored them. I frequently bought time by saying I was out of town when they called to finish the release process and send her home. Andrea began to doubt what I was doing. Her phone wasn't anywhere to be found. By now, the nurse would have told her it was with me, but I told her it was with the nurse. She would have known I had found the truth if she had done the math. One more thing was that I had never left her. She knew that I couldn't leave her like this while she was in the hospital, recovering from an accident, unless there was a very good reason. Once I had played with them for 2 days, I stopped talking to them. But I had kept my lawyer's information secret before and used Andrea's phone to get all the proof she was cheating on me. This was what I did to keep myself safe in case the hospital called the cops. She called her parents when she thought something was wrong. It was a fight with her parents when they came to my house. They said I had left their daughter to die in the hospital without telling anyone. They were in a rage before I showed them the picture of their daughter showing off her sexuality with another guy. I then watched them cool down. We're sorry for what she did, but now is not the time for revenge, they said. She needs you now. You promised your wife that you would take care of her when she got sick. I replied, didn't she also swear that she wouldn't look for any other men besides me, I asked. Where is her vow now? I'm going to do what she did and put it up her behind. My butt promises. What I said made them angry, so they got up and threatened to take me to court. Take her trash out of here on your way, I said. I don't let her or her dirty things into my house. They took her things and then blamed me. It's likely that Andrea has been taken with them, while she gets better. The most current news from my lawyer says that she will get the divorce papers in a week. To get rid of her, we're going to use her chats and cheating. My lawyer also told me that she and her affair partner were going to split me and steal my money. I did everything I could to keep myself safe and keep from hurting her. So far, everything is going well, while they wait for the divorce papers to be served. Yes, a family gathering is the best way to bring out all the dirty laundry. Who knew that avoiding the formalities of a divorce could be the best way to gain power in a fight? Update 3: when she got the divorce papers, she became very worried. She still has a cast on her arm and can't move. She left me hundreds of voicemails, some of which were threats, requests for a meeting, and bad language. I choose to not care about any of it. Then, in a long email, she said she would sue me for burning her IDs, using up her credit card, and lying about quitting her job. I said, sure, you should fight the case if you have the time and money to do so. It will take a long time to prove that I did all of this. Remember that you don't have any money or a job. I have proof of cheating and being put down, and I will give you an alternative case if you take me to court. You should just accept it, get a divorce, and move on. Even though she still wouldn't sign. The papers, the begging, and threats stopped. She told my lawyer via email that she needed to talk to me first before making a choice. My lawyer told me to meet with her, but asked me to give them some instructions. It's people getting together in public without any plans, problems, hugs, physical touch, or anything else. Our chat would also be recorded on video so she couldn't make up a story about me. It's possible that my lawyer would be with me on the phone or in person. The woman agreed after I told her what to do. My lawyer also told me to try to get her to agree to a deal outside of court to save time and money. I went there by myself. I was told by my lawyer to call him if I needed to. As I set up the recording, I waited for her to speak first. You played. Smart, you did everything to destroy me, and you were successful too, she stated. He broke up with me so I don't have a job, money, or a boyfriend. You don't like me because I chased your sweetheart away, right? I asked her. No, she said. I was going to fire him anyway because he was a loser. I couldn't stop laughing at how she didn't answer. She laughed at the same time I did. It made me think of the times when we talked about the guys who had made an impact on us and laughed at their pickup lines before we went on dates. Even with the jokes, I was finally picked up and made fun of. Why do you treat me this way, she asked. Her eyes were wet. I asked you why you cheated on me since everything was great between us. She wasn't sure what to say. She said it wasn't important and was just for fun. She called the person having an affair a Z-man when they were kidding. Well, I guess I'm a simp for sitting here and talking to you after you had an affair behind my back, I said. She said, oh, come on. Let's move on from this, I said. I'm being civil with you, but this doesn't mean I'm going to have you back in my life. I'm never going to forgive you. You hurt me, and it was sheer betrayal. You mocked me and discussed our sex life with your affair partner. You even said that my small D went halfway into you and I didn't satisfy you. Tears welled up in my eyes as I said this. This was nothing short of humiliation for me. She held my hands and cried, apologizing. I shrugged off her hands and yelled, no touching. Stay away from me. She pulled back. I wiped my face and said, even if I forgive you, I cannot stop thinking that you took our sex life outside our house and mocked me. Whenever I would kiss you or have sex with you, I would always think I'm not enough. Not just you, these days. I don't think I'll ever feel comfortable around another woman. I would constantly ask myself, what if she shares Andrea's thoughts? What if I'm really not enough? I told the affair partner those things, but I didn't mean them, she said through tears again. I only said those things to gain his trust. You are enough. I was happy with you. I swear I never loved the affair partner. But I was a fool for getting distracted and cheating on you. I never thought about leaving you. I told him, please trust me. I didn't like how she kept saying she would be loyal and never see anyone else but me. I made her sign the papers when I asked, didn't you make this promise at the altar? But you slept with another man. She took the papers out of her bag and signed them with shaking hands. She looked at me with tears in her eyes as she gave me the papers. It made me cry too. Now, all of my anger was coming out in the form of pain. It's over now. It's been more than 10 years since we first met. So will you be running back to the affair partner now? I asked to calm things down. She laughed and said, no, he no longer wants me. He doesn't want to know that you did it. I'm not going to cheat on my wife for a flaky woman, he said. Oh no, that's too bad. You be happy despite the pain and regret, she said. You got what was coming to you. You took everything away from me. I lost everything. It looks like I deserve it. After that, we left. There were no goodbyes or hugs. That's all I did, got up and left. As I drove home, I thought about what I was going to do. Have I gone too far? Did I decide the wrong thing? Otherwise, why am I not happy with how I exactly got back at them? I'm not sure. It would be too soon to say anything right now. It's time for me to accept that I'm no longer married. My goodness, I was happily married until a few months ago. Now I'm split. Sorry, you've been through a lot, from not showing up to the hospital to having a talk with your soon-to-be ex-wife. It had to be really fun to watch her move around as she signed away her marriage. Who needs closure when you have sweet, tasty payback? If you're thinking those things after getting separated, welcome to the club of people who have just gone through a split. Every split comes with spiritual crises. I think you really deserve your honors degree in marriage chaos. The first sign wasn't broad enough. You had every right to react the way you did when she thought about cheating.